big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. Captain's armband, I'm making key plays. When I'm doing shows, gotta get all prepaid. What you I'm on it, break, no side, know about these ways. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. Starboy excellence. Them other guys irrelevant. They all on. Zoe Kravitz half white, half melanin. Baby face and a white gold tooth cap. I treat the waiter nice, she loved that. I mix the blueberry pie. It's not what I wear, it's how I rock that. If I can buy that twice, I'll cut that. Sweet 110, spot that, chop that. Tryna lock me at the teller, it's not that. Oh, did it he say, she say, getting no delay, run it like V.
It's Madden NFL 24, and we'll see Cole Holcomb, who had a strong showing last week with an 8-tackle game. It's the Steelers and the Ravens coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of Bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Brandon, it's always nice when you get recognized with an individual award, and he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week, but when you do it in a win, so much the better.
Absolutely, and he was all talking about that win, not so much the award he received on Wednesday.
And it's a nice-looking award. I wonder if he took it home, got out of the car, showed it off to the kids in the neighborhood, passed it around. Wonder what he did with it.
They find some open field here, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. A great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's where they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's kind of like clockwork right now for them.
Now they'll throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. 19 carries, 80 yards.
He's really been someone special to watch this season and brings a real unique element to their offense. Even the defense is focusing on him all year. He still sits 4th in the league in yardage. Hard to come up with an answer for a back playing as well as he has been. They've got their work cut out for them in this one as he chases another big week.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fielded just inside the 20. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
75 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Jackson. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to let it go again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down per minute and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. And Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick 6, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on looking.
Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. This is Harris on the draw. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Pickett. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. It's taken to the 26. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Here's Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Roquan Smith, the All-Pro, the former Bear, is there to make the stop. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 5. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the 1st half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. He's had a pretty miserable 1st half. The pick 6 a moment ago, the 2nd one he's thrown. And we're not to halftime yet. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Pickett throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Taking it about the 16. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Here's Jordan Stout now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
1st and 10. Here's Pickett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll throw again with Pickett. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Pickett. That's complete right around the 8. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before half. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Joseph connects on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw, Pickett. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 89 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. To throw is Jackson. And that's incomplete. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
A short throw caught by Andrews. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop it well short.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's got it complete to Aguilar. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Odell Beckham, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Steelers 7. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. And the Steelers set to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd down, here's Pickett. And his throw is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Pulled in at the 24. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. So a change of possession here on the punt. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Pickett. Pickens on the slant. Three quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Pickett right back to the air again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Pickett going to bootleg it. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Joseph on for the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now Jackson on first down. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play's supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Pickett will look to throw it here. He'll let this go for the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first.
Good play there by Bateman. Nice catch and a first down. Trying to overcome what was largely a lost season in 2022 with only 6 games played and under 300 yards. Hoping this year can be a big one for him.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Kazin. And the Steelers are right back in this football game. This is 1st and 10.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Pickett back to the air on 2nd down. A short one there to Freiermuth.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. A big play looming on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And that is incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. He's got Pickens complete, and he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Harris. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
It's 4th down.
Looking to throw here, Pickett. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And Dobbins is going to pick up a Ravens first down as he's down at the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Dobbins. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's 1st and 10. Pickett to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here's Pickett. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. One final shot for Pickett. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. What a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for Baltimore, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3.
I count this money, then I count my blessings. If I ever took an L, then it stood for lesson. I'm the one, ain't no second guessing. Tried to dim my light, but my soul fluorescent. Wait, I tried to stay, but depressing. I even prayed to God, he ain't get the message. I'm living in the present, they gon' feel my presence. You can't dim my light, cause I'm luminescent. I rose from the ashes of the section.